in these. If I take 6 inches off, I don't believe it would make that much of a difference to where I would, if I would take 3 inches and 3 inches. I don't think that would be such a big deal, but if I take that off, I was going to use these perches that are on here as a reference point of it being squared up to the new ones that I have to put on the other side, because I'm putting the leaf springs on the top of the axle, not on the bottom of the axle. So this way it'll allow me the height that I need. And I don't want to cut either side off and mount them like this, because basically the gravity of it all, it would want to be down, not up. And with the new electric brakes, I have to make sure that these drop axles are still in the drop position. Safety-wise and mounting-wise and everything else that can go with it, that's the way it's got to be done. Plain and simple. And I'm not buying 3 axles. I only want to buy 1. So that's that. But before I cut that off, I might take off 3 inches off either side. So, but I don't want to lose my center point of all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to snap a line from the outside of the curve of the spindle all the way across to the opposite side, so that when I put the tube back on, I can line it up. But before I actually go and cut it off, I would actually take the wheel cutter and put a little cut on the spindle part and a little cut on the tube part, so that when the chalk line supposedly disappears, I still have the cut marks to go off of. I don't want to lose them, and I'll do it on both sides just in case I end up taking off 3 inches off either side. This is my first time doing this. I'm excited about doing it, but at the same time, you know, I gotta be cautious. I don't really think it'd make that much of a difference, but I'm not taking that chance. We're talking about a trailer, whether I haul 1 car or 2 cars. I don't want to risk anybody's life or any other serious accident over negligence or stupidity, just whatever. So that's going to be the function. I'm going to go get me a chalk line, take the chains off so I can get a nice clean line, and go from there. And actually, I can do that now because they're loose. It's loose. Alrighty then. Alrighty then. I think I should do it like this. No, I think I'll go like this. Put it in that hole, come around like this. And come around there. See, it doesn't really matter exactly where the chalk line goes, as far as if it's on this part of the tube, or the center of the tube here, or that tube here, because based on the fact that it is together now, as long as it goes back the same way, in the same position of where the lines are, that's all that matters. All that matters. What that look like? Actually, it looks like it's in the center. Absolutely. I like it. I like it like that. Well, this one basically will be practice for the other one. And then when I order the new axle, it'll already be the size that I need, but I got to give them from the outside of the spindle which is just behind this cap, to the outside of that spindle. That's usually the dimension they need in order to build the axle that I'm looking for. So now I'm going to set up the grinder to a cut wheel so that I can put my marks. Absolutely. These pieces here are actually called a perch, and that's what sits on top of the tube of the axle. New ones. They go like that. Look at that. And you weld them on so that you can mount them to your leaf springs. Alrighty then. Alright, that's on the opposite side of the weld, I hope. That's that. This way I won't lose the mark. I put more on this side than I did that side because I have to figure out if I'm going to actually take off 6 or 3 and 3. Let's see. That's a tape measure. Make sure I got the line. If that tube comes off, yep, there's enough there. And there's enough there. But if I go 6, I don't have enough of a line. So, add a little bit more over yonder. Okay. Ready. Alrighty then, let's see what happens. Sure, what the heck, why not? Let the chains come in where you don't want them. I hate when that happens. Alright, it's pretty even. I can deal with that. I can work with it. I'm cutting the axles. And as you can see, the drop part of the axle, the way it is. And I know it's hard to tell the arc that goes in with it. It's right there in the middle. So once I'm done cutting off that side and get it separated, then probably plug it back in and show you what I've come up with and what I decided to do, if I'm going to do 3 inches on this side and 3 on the other, or all 6 over here. But until then, okay, I am back. And I decided to take off the full 6 inches off the one side. I felt though a 3-inch difference wouldn't make a difference. So this way I could play it safe. Just decided to take the whole 6 off to one side. And as you can see, it is apart. I eliminated the 6. I used masking tape as basically a plumb cut, wrapped around really nice. You can tell it's really even all the way around, and you can see it's a heavier wall. It looks like almost 5/16 diameter, which verifies the 6,000 pound axle weight. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to clean up this end, clean up that end, square it back up. Obviously not on the log. I will square it back up and I will tack it and then weld it. Make sure it's plumb, the axle sitting the way it should, and having a reference point on the opposite side is a given. You know, it definitely helps having the one side fixed the way it is. So I'm going to put you on the stand and go from there and get her tacked up and get her done. No, sir. Woo! Hook me up. Alrighty then. So the blue line's actually on this side, which is nice. Just maybe. Might be the same thing. Normally checking the balance of an item like this, do that with motorcycle tires, especially race tires on motorcycles. They have a gravity system that goes on basically bearings, and the wheel is mounted in the center of an axis, and basically you turn it and make sure that you can stop it at any position and the wheel should stay there. If not, then you balance it until it does. In this case, I thought maybe it would do the same thing. Not that I was counting on that procedure, but curious nevertheless. Yep. Ooh, looky that. Alrighty then. So, I wonder if this, nope, that won't be of any assistance. Maybe to block the wheel from moving. I definitely need to block that wheel. Okay, this wants to go that way. So, ooh, I'm almost there. The cut marks. Baby! And put it on the spindle, on the drop part, and plumb it up. And do the same thing with this to make sure that the cut lines will meet. That's the ticket. Look at here. I gotta be able to see it. So, I'm gonna need to move this to there and take put you in view of that axle so you can see what I'm doing. Yep. So small in there. Yeah, that should help. Alright, pivot it this way. Such a small distance. I'm gonna have to. I can probably check it two ways actually. Once like this, and one on the perch. Maybe. Just maybe. No. According to the actual spindle, it is plumb diggins. Took the torpedo level to the spindle. It is level. The lines meet. The tube has to go up a little bit because there is some space there. And need to do that to square it. Next thing I'm going to need to do is measure from one end to the other to make sure that it is going correctly like that. Go from the actual backing plate as long as the backing plates are not bent. I should be able to even go off that to square it up. I hope. Let's see. See, that's a new backing plate from back in the day. And this one here does not at all look beat up. So, being that there's more room on this side based on where the wheel is positioned itself, I'm going to hook this side and measure that side. So this would roughly be the center, I think. I have an approximately, from the outside, 74 inches. 74. Let's see. What do we got here? We have 73 and 7/8. So, 74. Kick it that way just a smidgen. I mean, really a smidgen. Let's see. Might be advantageous if I did that. It'll be roughly the center of that spindle part, halfway down. Still the same, 73 and 7/8. Oh, for the fun of it, let's see. $74. So even though I thought it moved, because it looked like it moved, it didn't move. Oh, there we go. Okay. One more try. Maybe. There's that. And by George, by golly, yes sir, we are even. I don't even know if it was that even before I cut it. Alright, next step, to weld it up. Yeah, I gotta get that welder around here somewhere, somehow. Let's see how all this, I'm bringing my MIG welder over, so that it'll be a little easier welding it. Get this clean, back it up a little bit, put it on some good oomph, give me some feed, turn on the gas, grab my helmet, which I did get my new one, but I didn't set it up yet, and I also got my new gloves. So, but that all can wait for the moment. The top. Absolutely. It's one spot. Let's see if it moved. I don't think it did. Measure it one more time. Now that the top is tacked. Tacked carefully. That is the middle. We're at just about 74. Just about. Hey, if this comes within the 16th, I will be satisfied. Hopefully. Nope, gotta tweak it. It pulled a little bit. That's why I'm double checking. So, here's the helmet. Yep. Let's see. Put that light over there. Other edge. 15, 16. See. And we got 15/16. All right. We are in check. You know, my base of this thing is definitely plumb. So I'm going to actually tack the bottom. Absolutely. Hope. As far as I can tell. Now I'm going to do a left and a right. Just below the line, just in case. Alright, that looks good. What it look like. Woo! Awesome. It's beautiful. Yes, sir. I like it. So I'm going to do a quarter, rotate, do the opposite quarter of it, and then come back to the opposite side, do it like in an X formation. I would feel comfortable doing it that way. So this way, hopefully, it'll stay true. Yes, 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 yes. So let's put that down, like the idea of seeing what the heck I'm doing. Little bit. Let's see. Back off a little bit on the wire feed. Just a little. Everything looks good. Yes, sir. Let's hope my light doesn't drop. Okay. Let's see. Ah, dumbass. Guess what I've got to do? Hook up the ground. Brilliant. There we go. Make sure I'm staying on track. And I am. I'm going to back up the speed of the wire just a little bit more. Because it's heavy wire. It's 0.045, which is good for the heavier stuff. Alright, that quarter's done. Alright, I like the way that looks. I think I got my speed right. I know I got the temperature right. Or I should say the amperage. Alright, so, try this again. Alrighty. That's welded up pretty darn good. So instead of boring you with the little details, I'm going to turn you off for the moment. I'll get right back with you, and we'll proceed.